Hello, viewers. Welcome to Football Discussion Daily. I'm your host, CGO. Please endeavor to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and other platforms. Today, we'll be talking about the games that were played on Matchday 8 of the ongoing 2026 FIFA World Cup. Yes, a lot of interesting results happened in match day 8, where we saw the South Africans, how they were able to keep hope alive as they got a 1-1 draw against the Czech Republic. Czech Republic took the lead early in the first half, and then in the second half, a few minutes to ending the game, the South Africans, they got a penalty, and then they got the equalizer. So it ended 1-1 between South Africa and Czechia. And then in the second game of the day, the Swiss they defeated Bosnia and Herzegovina 4-1. The Bosnia team, they were reduced to uh, 10 men because the red card was issued in that game. So that was a kind of an advantage for the Swiss. So the game ended 4-1. And then in the third game, the Canadians went on rampage. They defeated Qatar by 6-0. And then the last game of match day 8, Mexico smiled. It was a celebration gala for them as they were able to book their place in the round of 32. They defeated hard fighting South Korea 1-0. So if we look at the game between South Africa and Czech Republic, I think it was more like an open game. It was end to end when you look at both sides. So the South Africans had more better possession than Czech Republic in this game. Even they had more attempts than Czech Republic in this game. I think the South Africans were the better side. If we look at the game critically, there was a more improved South African team I saw today compared to the team that played against the Mexican side. I think they were overwhelmed when they played Mexico. Probably that was the first game of the World Cup, and then the Mexicans had a lot of support in that game. So probably there was a kind of a stage fright on the part of the South Africans. And if you look at that game, they were more defensive. They played a kind of low block. So they weren't attacking like we saw them do today against Czech Republic. The Czech team getting their opening goal through Mikhail Sadilek's that goal made the South Africans know that they have to come all out if they want to get something positive out of that encounter. And the goal by Mikhail Sadilek is the fastest goal of the 2026 World Cup so far. So maybe as the competitions continue, we might see someone who might score much earlier than the time that this goal was scored. So South Africans, for me, they deserved at least a draw in this game. The performance was much better compared to the first game. I guess they understood what was at stake. That was how they kept mounting pressure, and then fortunately for them, they got a penalty which was converted by Teboho Mokwen, well taken penalty, and that got them a draw. So both sides will have to get a win in their last fixture. South Africa will be playing against a good South Korean side, while Czech Republic will be playing against Mexico. So they have to get a win if they want to stand a chance of moving to the round of 32. So that is it for the game between Czech Republic and South Africa. And then the game between Switzerland and Bosnia. The Switzerland team didn't really play too well in the first half compared to the second half. I think the second half we saw a more energized Swiss team, a team that needed to win. And credit must go to Murat Yakin, their coach, who was able to make some sub that really helped to increase the intensity, the tempo of the game for the Swiss side because they looked more dangerous in the second half than in the first half. That was why the first half ended goalless because they were not playing with high intensity. So second half, the introduction of a 20-year-old super sub, Johan Mazembe, really helped the team. And then bringing in Ruben Vargas also helped the team to perform very well in the second half. Unfortunately for the Bosnia team, they got a red card in this game, which made things even worse for them. The red card was by Tarik Muaranovic, who clipped down the heels of Mbelo and then got a straight red card. So that reduced them to 10 men. And after that, the Swiss team had, I think things became much easier for them because they were able to score a second goal through Ruben Vargas, and then the third goal by Mazambi, and then we had Bosnia scoring one, making it 3-1, and then a penalty was issued to Switzerland, and the penalty was converted by Granit Xhaka, who buried the ball into the net. So for me, it was a well-deserved victory for the Swiss side. They deserved to win this game. They did very well, but we must give credit to Joan Mazambi, who came on and was exceptional in this game. So congratulations to Switzerland, at least for getting a win in this game because we saw what they did against Qatar. They played well, but they weren't clinical enough. And they paid dearly for it because Qatar were able to equalize against them. And that game ended in a draw. So now they have 4 points, which shows that they are getting very closer to moving to the round of 32. So in the game between Canada and Qatar, it was a total demolition. The Canadians, one of the things that worked very well for them in this game was their relentless high intensity press. They were pressing so well that the Qatari defense collapsed. And that was part of the reasons why Qatar got 2 red cards in this game because they couldn't stand the pressure. The pressure was so much. In the preview for this game, I made it clear that if they come with that same approach they adopted against Switzerland, if they do that against the Canadians, it might work against them because allowing yourself to absorb pressure continuously, it doesn't really help. How long can they stand it? So in this game, they couldn't stand the high intensity, the high pressing of the Canadians. The Canadians were all over them, and that made them crumble. The Canadians went 2 goals up, even Jonathan David was able to score an hat-trick in this game. And this win by the Canadians is their first ever win in the World Cup, which is a very big plus for them. So it was a very good one for the Canadians because they dominated the game. And when the Qataris got those 2 red cards, it even made things worse for them because it was total domination. Because if you look at the stats, the Canadians had 78% of the ball compared to Qatar that had 22%. And then Canada was able to, they had 31 total shots, 10 on target, while Qatar had only total shot of 2 with none on target. And then the Canadians completed 529 accurate passes with a 93% success rate. So it was a total domination. Canada aimed a staggering 19 corners. I got just one. So those two red cards really affected them tremendously. But what led to it was due to the pressure. Because even before they got those red cards, the Canadians were already 2 goals ahead before they got the first red card. And then later and then when they got the first red card, Canada was able to score the third goal. And then in the second half, early part of the second half, another red card was issued to the Qatar team. Then Canada were able to score 3 more goals. So one of the goals the Canadians scored was an own goal from a Qatar defender. So it was a very comprehensive victory for the Canadians. And the way they are going now, it's obvious that they will make it to the round of 32. Now, one of the things they will be fighting to achieve is to ensure that they finish top in this group so that they will have to play their round of 32 game in Canada. That will be one of the plan they will have. And I guess that's why they try to see how they could explore the numerical advantage they had in this game, try to score as many goals as possible so that probably when they play against the Swiss in their last group match, a draw will automatically make them to secure top spot in that group. So that is it for the game between Canada and the Qatar team. Now, for the game between Mexico and South Korea, honestly, if not for the blunder the South Korean goalkeeper made, that is Kim Song-gyu, I'm telling you, this game would have probably ended in a draw. That's what would have happened. In the first half, both sides were trying to be very cautious. That was why we didn't see too much fireworks in the first half. The first half was a bit dull because both sides were playing with serious caution. They are trying to make sure they don't commit any blunder. But second half, after the goalkeeper of South Korea made that blunder in the 50th minute, which was as a result of miscommunication between the goalkeeper and the South Korean defender, that made Luis Romo to quickly kick the ball into the net. And that gave the Mexicans the 1-0 lead. And when they went 1-0 up, the South Koreans had to come out from their shell. And that was why you noticed from the ball possession, South Korea had more ball possession because they were trying and pushing to get an equalizer in that game, but it never worked. This is the third time that Mexico will be defeating the South Koreans at the World Cup. 1998 World Cup, Mexico defeated South Korea, and then in 2018 World Cup in Russia, Mexico defeated them again. So this is the third time they are both meeting at the World Cup. Mexico has won the third encounter between them and South Korea. Mexico has now qualified for the round of 32, and from all indication, they are topping the group. What it means is that their round of 32 game will be played in Mexico. So they will be playing at home to get support from their fans. That is going to be a huge advantage for them with the kind of support they get from the fans. Definitely, it will be difficult for any opponent they will be playing in the round of 32 to defeat them right in front of their fans. So that is much on the games that were played in match day 8 of the ongoing FIFA World Cup. So if you have your own thoughts to share, please feel free to comment on our videos. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful time. Bye for now.